What's up, everyone? Giant Opinions here. Some breaking MLB news. The Padres have went ahead and acquired starting pitcher Darvish and Victor Caratini for Zach Davies and 4 prospects who are Reginald Preciado, the 10th ranked prospect in their farm system, Owen Caissie, Ismael, Mena, and Yeison Santana. All of them are, or the lowest prospect is the 16th in the Padres farm system, and that's Yeison Santana. Now, this trade is huge. The Padres are making money moves again. Darvish pitched phenomenally in this shortened 60-game season. He was arguably the best pitcher in baseball. He finished second in Cy Young. He had a 2.01 ERA. Just lights out baseball. His WAR was like in the 3s or 2.3s. That's very good in the shortened season. And Darvish is an established player. We all know what he did in Texas. He was their ace for a long time. Went over to LA. He has postseason experience too, but the one knock is his contract. The Padres are going to have to pay like $20 million a year for him up until 2024 because that's when he's a free agent. But Preller was in Chicago Preller was in Texas, when they brought in Darvish, and he was a big guy that kind of really wanted to get him, and they got him, and he turned out pretty well. So Preller has connections to Darvish. It's why he made the trade, and Caratini is involved because Caratini catches Darvish, not Contreras, something like that. But now Zach Davies is going to Chicago in return. Zach Davies is not a bad pitcher by any means. He's more of a game manager. He's a guy who will get you 7 innings pretty consistently. I've watched him play a lot because he faces the NL West, and he gives 7 innings a lot. Now, will he give up runs? Yeah. Is he a strikeout pitcher? No. But he's a guy that he's a workhorse, basically, and he's going to save your bullpen, and it's something that's actually really valuable. He was pretty good in the season. He had 1.5 WAR. That's pretty respectable. It's not bad at all. But the 4 other prospects they're getting in return, no top 5 prospects, but that's okay, because there's some guys with potential. Number 1 is Reginald Preciado. This guy's a shortstop. He's a switch-hitting shortstop, and I think he's the best piece in this deal. MLB Prospects rates him pretty highly, and I think he's young, obviously, but he's not going to get called up until 2024, and that's a common trend with all these prospects, is they're not going to get called up for another 3 or 4 more years, and they're all very young. So right now, it may seem like the Padres won, but the Cubs could very well win in the future, and we can go back in hindsight and say, what a great trade for the Cubs. So pump the brakes. Reginald Preciado is good. Owen Caissie was just drafted this past draft, actually, and he is highly regarded too. He is a power outfielder. He has a lot of raw potential. Now he has to place it together, but if the Cubs can help develop him, and under their tutelage of the coaching staff, really turn him into a polished prospect. He wouldn't even be a prospect then. He would be a polished MLB player. He could be a starting outfielder, and he could be hitting like 30 home runs a season. I think Owen Caissie is tied with Reginald Preciado for the 2 best pieces in this deal, and I could very well see both of these guys being very good in the future, so don't sleep on them. They're not going to get called up for a while. Same thing, he's going to get called up in 2024, but that's okay. These guys are prospects for the future, and the future is in a few years, not now. So the Padres win this trade right now. The Cubs will win later. That's what I think is going to happen. But it's also good for Chicago because they're dumping Darvish's contract. It's very big, and he doesn't really have a future in Chicago anymore. They're kind of trying to rebuild. They're going to be trading Chris Bryant and all of those other guys. They let Schwarber walk, so it's a whole new culture change in Chicago, and it makes sense for them to part on with him. Now, the Padres are getting a great pitcher, and the Cubs do get worse, trading away Darvish, but it's not all bad. Yeison Santana and Ismael Mena, I'm not really going to talk about them because I didn't see much in them, but they're still additional pieces, and they could work out in the future. So that's the trade. Who do I think won? Padres won right now because they got an established player in Darvish, who had an amazing season, but the Cubs could very well win, and I would not be surprised if the Cubs end up winning this trade when Owen Caissie blossoms, because I think he will. He's a very intriguing prospect, and I like that the Cubs got him. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.